Oh shit, children. We're back with even more Let's Get On That Sid Meier's Crossfire. Jesus. It's been like... I don't even know. Like, I mean, it's definitely been less than 24 hours since I finished the last session. And, only like, 3 hours ago did all the videos from that get uploaded to YouTube. So, I've definitely, the video uploads were staggered due to the file size, so I could, preserve the high definition quality so you guys could read shit more. But, yeah. I'm definitely just, like, fucking hammering your sub box. You know what? That's cool. Since I'm going to be playing Alien Crossfire anyway, and it's not that much work for me to record and upload these videos, although it does take some additional time. Figured, I guess we'll go for it. So, yeah. So if you guys have complaints, just keep in mind that I was probably going to play this shit anyway. And in that case, you just wouldn't have had the opportunity to even be able to watch it. So I don't care. All of you can thumbs this shit down. Fuck you, it's my channel. So anyway, the last set of videos, which covered the human hive, I started with Chairman Shinji Young and pretty much brutalized the map. It was a standard map size, and due to the randomness of the map, it was heavily covered in water, which was unfortunate. The AI, I don't think, does a good job on heavy water maps, not even the pirates, which are pretty much set up to kick ass on water maps. So we're going to do a customized random map this time. I'm going to go ahead and pick standard planet size again. It's because whenever I enter a mop-up period, that way it doesn't take fucking forever. I know some folks would like to see huge planet sizes here, but the first video set I recorded last year takes care of that. Ocean coverage is going to be, I really prefer only having a small amount of, the smallest amount of ocean possible on the map. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and pick 30 to 50% of the surface. I'm not a big fan of naval combat, and that's pretty much true for most games. I mean, it's just an additional thing to manage, and it's just the AI usually doesn't handle naval combat well whenever you have land and naval stuff. Now, that's not true in every game. In some games, the AI does do a damn good job. But, yeah. Besides, it just complicates matters less, and yeah. So 30 to 50% of the surface is go. Now I can adjust erosive forces here. Strong will put flat land really close to sea level. When weak will put you with mountainous terrain not pretty far from sea level. I'm gonna go ahead and pick weak here, so there'll be even less water to influence this. And I may end up doing something if I get the chance, which I didn't do in the Young playthrough, called Launch Solar Shades, which will reduce sea level further, which can really fuck with your mind when you see almost the entirety of planet joined together. It's like one clusterfuck of... Native life forms, I'm going to go ahead and set that to average. Rare provides a score penalty, but it's easy in terms of like barbarians that you might face. Mind worms are pretty much the barbarians of a civilization game. They act differently, but they're still there. Abundant gives a score bonus, but that can be really obnoxious and annoying, especially depending on what you try to run as a faction. If you try to run free market, for instance, on social engineering, you can get your ass mowed over. Average, though, is safe, and it'll take less time to fucking everyone terraform. That'll be fine. And I'm going to go ahead and pick sparse. Nah, we'll have average cloud cover for that. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and pick thinker. Difficulty here again. Few people were like, man, you're making this look so easy. You just immediately jump to fucking transcend. No. You want to know how it happened whenever I went to transcend for the first time? See last year. So we're going to be thinker again. Customize rules just to make sure that all these rules here are set. Once again, world map is not visible. Supply pods only at the landing sites. Hopefully fucking LOL doesn't get fucking shit tons of shit from fucking Unity pods. And no random events, so can't get luck screwed that way. Flexible starting locations, everything else looks good. Now, I'm not going to be the human hive again. Just as a recap of what Shinji Young is. Runs an atheist police state, +1 growth, and +1 industry allows him to get away with stacking tons of bases next to each other. Not quite like ICS, like Infinite City Sprawl, but more along the lines of just, you can build so many bases with him that for him to lose an individual base is pretty much nothing. Assaulting a great player of Young who is really built to just constantly build bases and constantly mob people with units, I mean, that's a big advantage that he has. Of course, the disadvantage, I covered that, and, I was able to break away from it later on in the movie series, but the chairman is not great at generating energy income. That is a serious flaw of the design, and why running wealth there, which is an odd combination, I'd say, for the chairman, certainly helps to change some of those energy penalties. I could have run free market as well, but I just didn't feel comfortable switching out of planned. I wanted the additional bonus to industry as well as growth. Now, for this next series, I guess I'll just give you guys a breakdown of all the faction leaders for those of you who would like to know more. Don't have that much experience playing the game. There's some of you folks out there who just like to see some stuff. And that's Chairman Shinji Yang's primary quote. We have Gaia's stepdaughters, led by Lady Deidre Sky. You met her whenever I fucking steamrolled her in the last game. She's a pacifist. She cares about the preservation of planet. She saw all of the horrors of industry and bullshit that happened on Earth. And she really wants to avoid that situation along with, the members of her faction. As such, she has bonuses to dealings with planet as well as her efficiency. The -1 to morale and police both aren't really big deals. Those are things you can just shrug at. Their impact is not major at all. The +1 to treats and fungus squares, I also don't think is major though, but whatever, they can help you at the beginning of the game. The lack of free market economics can be painful if you wanted to be a marketeer and really generate a lot of money fast, but it's not necessary against the AI. And even then, you might as well play to her strengths in a multiplayer game anyway. We have Elray and her quote. In the Great Commons at Gaia's Landing, which I took over, by the way, we have the University of Planet, led by Academician Proko Zakharov, for I have tasted the fruit. He primarily focuses on research. That was his job, science officer on the Unity, which headed to Planet from Earth. So he's great at research. Probe team shit, on the other hand, yeah, pretty iffy. It's a free network node, which is great, especially if you combine that with the virtual world, which allows all of your network nodes to act as hologram theaters, which means you pretty much have 2 buildings there at 0 maintenance in each of your bases. A bonus tech will allow you to pretty much modify your settings, your start to whatever you want to do with your current strategy. An extra drone can be frustrating, but there are ways to deal with that, specifically if you tag on the hologram theater to network node. May not use fundamentalist politics, yuck. You don't want to use that anyway, unless you're fucking Miriam. Or the sect of Grimith, which I modified to be immune to the fundamentalist penalty. Starting this game, as a kid growing up with turn-based strategy games, I'm all like to research and high-tech things, and it's just a kid with not much confidence in these games, playing on low difficulty settings, just like slowly fucking turtling up, not too sure about when to attack or everything, just want to get like a huge supreme technological advantage, and if anyone dares to declare war on me, just rape the shit out of them with that. Dr. Proko Zakharov is what you want to use in those situations. Dr. Zach, I'll just call him that. That Zach. Haha, good joke. Is really set to do that is because if he's left alone and he's able to peacefully expand and just focus on infrastructure and research, he can do a really damn good job with knocking out the tech tree. Especially combining with knowledge, which you get the knowledge social engineering choice. He has plus 40% to his research, and it's pretty crazy. There is that. So yeah, he is, he tends to be my favorite of what, I like to do. It kind of fits my personality with that. But in terms of, I think, my favorite faction with whom I'm the most powerful, it's definitely the Human Hive. Because I can beat the shit out of people. It's fun. Moving on, we have CEO Nwabudike Morgan, who got onto the USS Unity before launch due to the fact that he fucking owned this shit. He was a major, I'm not sure if he was like a major shareholder, if he, the primary contributor to the damn ship, but that's how he got along. And he is a marketeer. +1 economy, doesn't sound like a whole lot until you combine that with, say, wealth. And then that makes +2 economy, which makes Morgan earn ridiculous amounts of cash. And if you fucking run free market with Morgan, it's fucking amazing. -1 support, you can easily compensate for that. Commerce, Morgan really benefits from treaties and pacts and loans. He begins with 100 extra energy credits. One major complication is that he needs a HAB complex for bases to exceed size 4. So his size is limited at the beginning of the game, but you can get around that eventually. It's not that bad. He can't use planned economics, though. That makes it difficult for him to execute a population boom. If you're looking for that sort of strategy, you need a +6 modifier on the gross social engineering choice in order to execute a pop boom, which basically allows your bases to grow every single turn, so long as you have enough food. Planned gives +2 growth. So if you run, say, democracy, planned, and have a children's crèche in each of your bases, that's a pop boom. Morgan can't do that, though, so you have to do with what I was talking about doing with the human hive, and get golden ages in your bases by doping them up on psych and shit. So there's him. There's the Spartan Federation, led by Colonel Corazon Santiago. She really doesn't fit. Like, all of these folks have, like, their diametrics here. Young and Lal hate each other. Miriam and Zach hate each other. Morgan and Deidre hate each other. Santiago is like the fucking, I guess, United States. After it achieved its independence, led by General Washington, who really advocated a stance of non-interference. In just like apathy, really. I forget the exact terminology used for the stance on the matter. Isolationism, I think. But that's pretty much what she fits in. Fucking Second Amendment, fucking just arm herself to the fucking teeth, arm all of her followers to the fucking teeth, and there's that. So Colonel Corazon Santiago gains lots of morale, which makes her fitting to kick ass with her units. Police, -1 police, nah, that's not much of anything. The -1 industry, a little painful, and she can't use wealth to compensate. Which means she can't use wealth to increase her economics modifier. You'd have to run free market with her. On the bright side, prototype units do not cost extra minerals. So you guys might have noticed like a skunkworks building. You can make a facility which would allow you to ignore the prototype cost. You don't even need that. Just fucking use her. Now in the earlier in the weak difficulties of this game, there are no prototype unit costs for you anyway. So if you play on, like, fucking Citizen or some shit, that advantage is completely thrown out of the window. So there's her. I know, I'm giving you guys, like, a rundown as opposed to playing the game. Yeah, I'm just tutorialing you guys. Then we have, and I'll show you her quote, you can pause the game. Then we have fucking Sister Miriam Godwinson. This is the bane of Zach, along with pretty much everyone else in the fucking game. She's really that frustrating, and it's because of what she does. Sister Miriam Godwinson is highly aggressive, and her faction is geared around fanaticism, overzealous, a maniacal nature, really. Her fucking aggressive meter is really fucking cranked, and her faction is definitely suited to fit that. Plus 25% bonus when attacking enemies. She gets a +1 natural to probe, and whenever she runs fundamentalism, that means that her bases and units are immune to mind control. +2 support really helps her set up stuff, and she can actually run democracy when you're a player, and that has a penalty of 2 support, so those cancel each other out, which is pretty useful. The -2 research can hurt, but if you play her right, it's not going to be that big of a deal. The -1 planet, though, is pretty sore, particularly if you're fighting someone who likes to use mind worms, or the planet itself, and she cannot accumulate research points until 2110, meaning she is definitely put behind in the realm of research. But yeah, in terms of, I mean, she really especially hates Zack, but anyone who doesn't use fundamentalism, which is pretty much everyone in the fucking game, she will go after them. She will get angry enough to just fucking target them. That's how she rolls. So, of the peaceful, non-aggressive turtle who's not really used to building up military units, who doesn't like to spend their resources building up military units, yeah, she will beat your ass. She will curb stop you. All in the name of the Lord. Fuck you. And finally, we have Commissioner Pravenlal, or who likes to style himself Brother Pravenlal. Yeah, he was the surgeon on the Unity, and he came from the United Nations. He's all humanitarian, and he likes democracy, and he's pretty much like a middle-of-the-line person. Well, each of these factions here, the other 6, have significant strengths and weaknesses. He really doesn't. -1 efficiency is something to shrug at. That's something that he's going to be running fucking democracy, so that's not going to be a problem. Extra talent for every 4 citizens, you know, that's pretty useful. May exceed have complex population requirements by 2, which means while you're limited to size 7 bases, he's able to run size 9. And the fucking kicker here, receives double votes in elections for planetary governor and supreme leader. You guys saw in last game how Law by himself was like able to fucking bash me upside the fucking head due to the fact that he gets double votes. The Empath Guild, which Lady Deidre Sky built, only gives an additional 50% bonus. So Pravenlal is great in terms of the UN Planetary Council. He can't run police state, but what the fuck ever. So you guys have a rundown of this shit now, which is, you know, great and useful, I think. And I told you guys that I'm going to be playing with, you know, the original 7 here. There are, of course, another 7 which came with the expansion pack, but I'm going to be ignoring them for the time being. If I keep doing series like this, though, eventually I reckon I'll get around to them. So one of these, then. And I already did the Hive. I thought about, like, pulling out one of my dice, like a D8 or something, and rolling randomly, but I already decided on this one and what I'm going to be running. It's actually the faction here with whom I have the least experience, and whom I detest in terms of, like, overall aggravation for a player. It's Miriam. I'm going to be playing as Sister Miriam Godwinson. God rest my fucking soul. The righteous need not cower before the drumbeat of human progress. Though the song of yesterday fades into the challenge of tomorrow, God still watches and judges us. Evil lurks in the data links, as it lurked in the streets of yesteryear. But it was never the streets that were evil. Sister Miriam Godwinson, The Blessed Struggle. Now, something that I will actually mention before I delve into creating her, like hosting her, is that, oh my god. As you progress later on in the game and start researching, like, some of the upper echelon technologies, Sister Miriam Godwinson becomes the least crazy, most sane of the faction leaders. Because she is looking at all this technology and she's like, what the shit? Nanotechnology? Fucking little fucking tiny robots we inject into our bodies? Fucking little things that can, like, take any matter and make fucking tanks and laser guns? What the shit? Fucking psi gates that you can fucking transport and teleport yourself through into other bases? What the fuck is this? Which is immensely ironic because, you know, considering her fundamentalist and dogmatic nature, you wouldn't consider her to be the most grounded person. It's great. Uh-oh.
Though the song of yesterday fades into the challenge of tomorrow, God still watches and judges us. Evil lurks in the data links, as it lurked in the streets of yesteryear.
Nah, you guys really aren't going to be able to get a good sample to hear her voice, because of the way the volume is set up and how loud the music is in the background. It's not going to work. So I'm actually not going to change anything about her. I could change, you know, the faction title and the way they're referred to in my own title. I'll go ahead and be Sister Miriam Godwinson. Don't worry, it's like roleplay, guys. I'll be cool. Miriam, shit's about to go down. And here is our start, with 2 colony pods and a scout patrol. Some rainy tiles over here, and a nutrient bonus right there. Rolling and moist, which I approve of. We also have access to... I can't speak for what that is. That could just be an interior lake. Could actually be like a sea or an ocean. I don't know, but I'm definitely planning the base there. That'll be fine. But that'll actually wait until next time. Basically gave you guys an overview of the factions. And I think in the next video, I'm actually going to give a tutorial of terraforming as well. I had a few people ask me about how forming worked, using formers, with the various options that could be done to improve the land, and like why I was just constantly focusing on forests. But I will definitely cover that in the next video. If you guys, you know, just came here to watch the videos, if you understand the game, and I guess you can skip to like video 3 if you haven't done so already. I don't know. You guys are probably still fucking back all the way in Yang. I can't imagine many of you like just all have finished Yang already. Though there are a few of you, I know. Master Azra, I'm looking at you. Alright everyone, I'll talk to you folks later. Bye!